with our attention to focus on those problems. The Iraqi disaster, when it happens, most of the people, they just concentrate on Saddam because they let us forget what's going on nowadays. I told culturally, I talked to my wife. I saw a video clip with Iraqi girls, long black hair, very beautiful girls. I told her, used to call Majidat. I don't know, brother, he can translate that. Majidat, proud women. Nowadays, they use them the gold because they trade in their needs to become an video clip models, which is very, very bad culture, actually. What they're doing in Gaza, Palestine, in Syria, in Tunisia, and in Egypt. Nowadays, they try to implant the Islamic. We are not against Islam or Christianity or any fundamentals, but when you look at the Islam Brotherhood, they come now to cover Tunisia things. What they can cover, by what? If they destroy a national army in Libya, and they try to destroy the national army of Egypt by creating those kind of farm, where is the security? We are sitting here because the criminal actually behind the bars, and if anything's happened, we can't phone the police. You couldn't do that in Libya nowadays. Even in Egypt, even in Tunisia, people start going out in the red traffic lights because they thought this is the freedom. How you do a freedom and the freedom of speech in Libya, where it's more than 10 million piece of weapons is being distributed among the people. So it's a very, very big disaster. We wrote, me and other friends, we called ourselves as a gathering evidence for the International Crime Court. We tried to gather all the militia, what they're doing, and file these incidents actually, and we've been in the last 10 days, we've been in Brussels talking about this, how we can take the file to the International Criminal Court to bring those criminals, armed militia members and things, to the justice. But we find there is huge pressure from most of the government, and even the prosecutor, when we talked to him, he said to us, you need to look after yourself because probably somebody will come to try to silence you up. So that's what's going on in Libya. Every day is a disaster. Now, yesterday, Libyan Prime Minister talked in front of the United Nations Security Council. All what he said is a completely lie. And ordinary people saying that, not me, not the group I represent. No, the ordinary people, the ordinary guys in Libya. So it's a big disaster, and they tried to force the example of Libya, and every country doesn't obey them or obey their national treasures, either oil or minerals or whatever. We look how they swipe out the north of Mali. It's a disaster. It's a French occupation to the north of Mali, despite what the difference between the Islamic Brotherhood who control or Islamic extremists, as the brother from Palestine said about those jihadis actually made in CIA and MI605 labs. Actually, they made them. And now, because they were thinking 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, and they've led them to the ordinary peoples. We saw an example in YouTube, if you can watch it. They catch somebody drunk or something, and they employ the Islamic law on him, and they try to beat him in the front of the people. It's very bad, actually, but that's what they try. They let us, rather than thinking forward, to try to create anything, even to be artist or be a scientist or be, and we became again, returned to our chairs, to fight with each other. Our family man from Libya to fight Nusrati man and the other man fight. Nowadays, I talked to a friend of mine from Palestine. I told him, look, my brother, I've got a problem in Libya. I couldn't think anymore of Palestine. I used to think about the Palestinians. I used to think about Iraq. I remember during the Iraq invasion 2003, the whole university in Libya, quite conservative society. The girls not engaged very much about the public events. That day, the women led us to the big square, and they shouted, and they ordered the Gaddafi to give them the weapons to go to the Iraq to fight. So inspirational and so high. I couldn't believe myself what I'm seeing. And that's the matter being killed now today in Libya. Every Libyan citizen think about his own securities and financial problems and all other mess we made in Libya. The great man-made river. Everybody, when they say the Gaddafi dictator, they say a lot of things. They forget that the water they drink actually it's bringing by the Gaddafi himself and the project he did to bring out the water from south to the north. They drink it every day.
For free. For free.
Yes,
well.
For free, yeah. For free. You couldn't believe there is over 5,000 Libyan students in the UK doing a postgraduate study. You couldn't believe that we have almost 95 people that are educated, they can read and write. Free health service. Sorry about that. And that's Libya. Brother Sukan being there in Libya, see a lot of things, and he also can take you what's going on in Libya. But where it is, it's become a matter of past, not a matter of future. I'm not worrying about myself. My hair is white. I've done enough in my life. I am worried about my daughter and my son and my niece and nephew and all young generations. I used to go from Tripoli to any city safe and well without any weapons. Can my son do that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So where are they going? And the problem is, if we didn't raise the awareness among the people and see, look, that's what's going on, they wouldn't believe. Actually, I finished my talk about, they actually did something wrong in Libya. They gave us a very poisoning word. This poisoning word actually implanted in our mind and thinking. This is poisoning word called democracy. There is a democracy, real democracy.
It's a common poison in our world.
So it's become, we need a democracy. So is there any democracy here in the UK?
No.
So that's what they made us actually, and not in Libya, and the whole third world, especially the educated people, not the normal people. Actually, the normal guys, people, actually they care about what they, at the end of the day, what they can bring to their kids in their houses. So he have a lot of things to think, education, food, house, things. But those people that in the middle class, those people who think about democracy, and they think about democracy, it's how to collapse the head of the state. Where is the democracy if anybody in a police force in Libya being tagged as a pro-Gaddafi? And we should, as a rebel, we should hang him and kill him without any justice. how you can do a country without constitutions? How you can do the country if there is no law and order? And for how long? God knows. Except one thing, if the one pipe of the oil being cut. At that moment, probably they will come and look what's going on there. Thank you very much for your talk.